All right, hey, this is Jeff with Milesplit. I'm here at Heritage High School in Brentwood, Northern California, with Jett Charvet, the defending state 800-meter champion. Jett, thanks for joining us. We've got a little soccer game here going on in the background. First of all, Jett, explain this. What's the story behind your first name?
So my parents liked the name Jett to start off with, not knowing I would be a runner or anything like that. They liked the name, and I'm also French, so Etienne was also another name that they liked. So they kind of just pieced them both together and got Jettienne, and no one can really pronounce that or spell it, so I just go by Jett.
Jettienne?
Yes, Jettienne is my full name.
Jettienne, and what does that mean in French?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Okay. How many times a week do you have to tell this story?
A couple of times nowadays. It's gotten a little bit more frequent.
Yeah. Okay, so on the track, we're here in February 6th, and you just got back from Boise, Idaho, where you ran 154 to win the 800 there at the indoor. Tell us about that.
It's my first time running indoors. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of different from outdoors, I've been told, but I kind of like the change and the variation. It's just spiced it up a little bit. I think I did well.
And 154, is that a time you were looking for?
Yeah, it's like right around where I want to be right now. Looking at New Balance Nationals in March, and so my progression right now I think is just where I want it to be.
So let's talk a little bit about the track. Last year you ended up with this huge PR in the state final, and we'll get to that. But as a sophomore in the North Coast section Tri-Valley meet, you were 23rd, ran 2:05.87. The year later, you were first, ran 1:53.70. How do you explain such a huge drop year over year?
Before sophomore, freshman year, 800 really wasn't my specialty. I was more of a miler, longer distance. Always knew I had the speed, but just never really worked on the 800 as much. And then junior year came around, got a little bit more motivated to run well, and kind of switched it up. There was a point right before that meet that I kind of decided to focus on the 8 a little bit more, thinking it would help me out, match my specialties a little bit better, and I think I was always capable of running those kind of times. I just went out there and did it.
Was there a point, a meet, a performance, a practice, anything that was kind of a watershed moment for you going, hey, wait, I can be really good at this?
Yeah, we were out here doing some flying with 300s and things like that, and I was around 40 seconds for each one, a couple at like 39. So I think around then was I was kind of realizing I think I had it for the 800.
And so your focus then became on that in your training on that distance?
Yeah, it came closer to the end of the year. Kind of chose between the mile and 800, and I think I was a little bit better suited for the 800 going further into the postseason, so I just focused on that a little bit more.
Okay, but you're still running cross country, correct?
Yeah. My coaches, they've always been very adamant about me running longer distances and building strength. So cross country was never neglected, and those long runs were never put off. I think those were good base training for track season and for the success that I've had.
So as a sophomore, you broke 2 minutes just one time.
Mm-hmm.
But last year as a junior, as the season warmed up, by April 29th, you ran 1:55.88 and pretty much just kept dropping. Just talk about your progression as the season went on last year.
Yeah, right around that time there was a meet I ran, I think 1:55, 1:56, out of nowhere really. Hadn't really run the 800 much before that. I was kind of angry that race, and so I think I ran pretty well due to that. And then after that I just kept dropping the times, and things kind of just became natural and instinctive to run well.
So do you run angry all the time now?
Not as much anymore. Last season, a lot of it was pretty angry running. Running's a lot of helps me pull out emotion and keep me sane.
Yeah. What goes through your mind during that race? Because the 800 can be crazy.
Yeah, 800 is a real aggressive race, I think. So, kind of just being a hunter and your mindset. I like the Mamba mentality, is Kobe Bryant, things like that inspire me. So I think take a lot of that.
We get to the state final last year, and your PR, correct me if I'm wrong, I think was 153.70 before that. And then in the state prelims, you ran 155, and then the state final, huge 151.07 drop. Explain such a drop at such the perfect moment.
I think I was always prepared to run those kind of times before that. And I just happened the prelim at the state final or at the state meet was a really tactical race for me. So I don't think the time really showed there, but when it came to the final, it was kind of just all out. And I think that's what I was capable of running.
Can you take us specifically through that race?
So the first lap was, it was kind of rough, got pushed around a little bit. I think I almost fell off the track, but it was aggressive and fun, it was quick. I know the first person took it out really quickly, so it was kind of just knowing the pacing I needed to be at. And then right as we were coming around that first, after we finished the first lap, that next 100 around the bend, I was just feeling great, and so right as we got to 300, I just said screw it and went for it. And then getting out in the lead, I just said I wasn't going to lose it and just ran as hard as I could.
And the feeling when you knew you won.
It was a little surreal at first, kind of, to be honest, but after that, it was a great feeling.
And then looking at that time, do you think, wait a minute, the clock says 151? What?
No, I was really happy with that, but I don't think I was surprised exactly.
Yeah, you knew that was in you.
I think that was in me. Yeah.
Yeah. So right behind you was Alex Scales, Bellermine, who's also back this year. You guys going to battle?
I hope so. Yeah, he's a good competitor, good sportsmanship. So I look forward to it.
Yeah. How often do you think you guys will see each other?
Maybe a couple times closer to the end of the season. I might see him at New Balance or any of the local meets around here that we both go to.
So you're going to UCLA. Tell us a little bit about why you decided on UCLA.
I think the school as a general, its importance on academics and athletics was made it stand out among others. It was close enough for me to be able to go home and see my family, and my grandparents live nearby the school as well. Also, my coach from last year ended up going to coach there, so that was just good. I would have a familiar face to see there. But yeah, I think it was a good fit for me.
And what do you want to study?
Right now I'm looking at engineering, so I'm going into the School of Engineering there as an undeclared major. I don't know exactly what yet, but mechanical engineering is a big topic that I think I would like to study.
All right, we talked about your French heritage and the background behind your name, Jett. Tell us a little bit more just about your family history.
So my great-grandfather was from France, and he moved to Ecuador down in South America, and my family has been living there since. So my grandparents currently live there. My dad was born there, and I go there every summer I really can, and get good training in there. And I have a farm up in the altitudes I like to train at. That's been a good help, I think, over my career.
It's a family farm?
It's my grandfather's farm, so he lives there and takes care of it. He comes back to America a couple times a year and lives here, and then goes back there and takes care of the farm.
What's the terrain like there?
It's really hilly, so elevation, I think at my farm is around 10 to 11,000 feet. So anywhere you go, you're up really high elevation. So getting long runs in there, hill repeats there especially, really good training.
And how long have you been doing that?
I've been going there since I was about 2 years old. I don't go there every summer. It was originally me going there every 4 years, so I've been there a total of like maybe 5-6 times.
And that's running in the Andes then, right?
Yeah. The highest I've been there is around 13,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's that like? What's the difference like?
It's tough. It takes a couple weeks to get used to. I usually stay there for around 4 weeks. So the first 2 weeks is really a grind, but after that it gets a little easier, and then it's more manageable.
When was the last time you were there?
This last summer.
Yeah, how long were you there for?
About 4 weeks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite memory from that experience?
I think just seeing my grandparents again. They love it there, and my mom and dad especially love it there. So just seeing them, my dad especially, just being off work and worry-free and stress-free is something I really enjoy.
So for the track season, talk a little bit about time and objective goals.
So for the beginning of the season, I think just getting the progression I want and performing well at New Balance is the first kind of thing on my to-do list. And then after that, just keeping the progression up, dropping my seconds off, taking down that PR is a big thing. Looking at breaking 150 is a big goal of mine.
And what big meets should we expect to see you at?
I'll be at New Balance. The state meet should be there. There's some local meets. I'll be at my championship meets here for my league and regional races, and maybe anything after that. I don't know yet.
Okay, you don't know about meets in Southern California?
I'm not sure yet. No.
Okay.
I think I'll be at Arcadia though.
We just saw you do 700 repeats. Tell us a little bit about what your objectives are when you're doing those.
So the first lap is kind of around 5K pace. So I usually take it out around 72, 73. Even anywhere from 70 to 75 is good. And then after that, when you hit the 300 mark, you want to pick it up to around 800 pace so that there's a big change in pace there and you can definitely notice it and then just finish strong. I think it's a good workout interval-wise. It's long and builds good strength, but also keeps that speed work in there.
All right, très bien, Jett. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.